All right, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to properly dust or wipe off your blinds. First off, make sure you look at what side the blinds are flipped to. Most likely, if it's flipped to the opposite side that's more flat, most likely there shouldn't really be much dust buildup. But of course, be mindful of it. Of course, give a finger spread through, see if there's any dust buildup. If there's not, go ahead and just give it a nice little wipe if needed on the residuals. Not too much pressure, just a nice little wipe, especially on the soft side of your microfiber rag. But now, once we flip it over to the flat side, this is where all the dust will most likely be accumulated and most likely be pretty visible. It doesn't matter what angle you're staring at it, it's going to be pretty visible. But of course, give it a nice little finger swipe, make sure there's not dust. As right now, it's not too much, but you would be very surprised how much dust buildup can build up on that specific opposite side. So once again, like I said, our Webster is very effective in so many different ways other than getting cobwebs off. First off, make sure if you have to, try not to move too much of the blinds or curtains, but just make enough for you to get accessibility to whatever corner that you can get to. And of course, just a light swipe. Once again, not too much pressure. What I like to do is make sure that I'm basically going left to right, slowly moving it down, left to right, all edges, slowly moving it down. And of course, the Webster should have enough space for you to at least be able to wipe off at least 3 to 4 blinds at the exact same time. Of course, be very mindful of how the blinds are set. You don't want to damage, don't want to singe, don't want to bend any of the material. Once again, I'm just going through left to right, slowly moving down, left to right. Now, of course, in any case that you do not have your Webster with you, you can also use your rag as well. Same thing as how I did on the opposite side, just a nice soft wipe, not too much pressure. And of course, make sure we're using our soft side. And now, if it's very, very heavily filled with dust, once again, like I said, be very mindful of all the dust buildup that could stick to your rag. Therefore, always make sure you're checking it. At this point, we got a little bit of dust residue, so therefore, let's flip it over. Use a nice clean side. You can use it straight up flat, or if anything, in my best case scenario, what I like to do, which makes it very easy and efficient, is just give it a nice little half fold. And at that point, you're able to wipe off at least 3 to 4 blinds at the exact same time. Same motion as I'm using if I was using the Webster, left to right. Once you get to the right portion, slowly move down to the next 3 sets. Left to right. Of course, once again, once you're done, take a look at it. Make sure it's not too dusty. If it looks dusty, go ahead, fold it over. Make sure you got a nice clean rag. And of course, most likely, depending how heavy, dusty it is, you're probably gonna have to go through maybe 2 to 3 rags at a time. But like I said, use a judgment, give you a nice little finger swipe, make sure nothing is left. If there is still a few things left, once again, like I said, flip it over to your clean side. And just give it a nice wipe down, hitting at least 3 to 4 blinds at a time. Make sure there's no buildup. And now if you have to, go ahead and switch over, because there's a few cases where I've seen dusting it off on the flat side, and you'd be surprised how much residue could eventually switch over to the other side. So of course, again, give a nice little swipe through, make sure there's nothing left over. Most likely you'll be able to feel the dust on your fingers. So therefore, if you feel them, once again, even on the opposite side, just a nice little soft wipe. Just a soft wipe, because you don't want it to basically readjust itself and flip back over to the opposite side of your blinds. Like I said, I'm just going left to right, slowly moving down. And of course, if needed, we are mindful of the window sills. Of course, just give that a nice wipe. Like I said, I usually start from left to right, as if I'm reading a book. Left to right. And most likely, all of that dust on the window sills will be gone. And of course, like I said, make sure you're checking your rags, make sure there's not too much dust buildup. If there happens to be any dust buildup, of course, either fold it to a nicer, the other clean side, or if it's fully dirty, that's when you just go ahead and grab yourself another rag. And of course, once again, you always want to start with the soft side, just so all of these bristles and whatnot on this microfiber side can pick up as much dust as it can at the moment once you use it. Once window sills are all cleaned off, make sure you adjust blinds to how it was when you first came to it, to make sure that the clientele knows that their blinds either weren't damaged, but they were most likely taken care of. And we're just leaving it as is, as if we walked into it, leaving everything as how we saw it. Most likely, again, same side with this set of blinds. Nice little quick throw swipe to make sure there's any buildup. If there happens to be buildup, of course, go ahead and get it. But if anything, I would start with the flat side first. Once again, if you have your Webster, start from the left to right. As you can tell, I'm basically using this sides of the Websters. Therefore, I'm able to hit at least 3 to 4 blinds at the same time. Again, going left to right, moving down, left to right, moving down. And of course, same thing with your rag. If it happens to be pretty dusty, go ahead and just give it a twist to the other side, so you're not spreading any residual dust that you previously gotten on that other side that you first used. Again, going left to right, moving down, moving down, left to right, moving down, switching over, left to right, move down, left to right. And of course, again, if you don't have a dust Webster at your account for any reason, handy dandy rag always does the job. Same thing, left to right, move down, left to right, move down, what helps me is if I do at least 3 to 4 left to rights, I always want to check on the 4th one to look at my rag, make sure there's no residual dust. If there happens to be any dust, of course, flip it over, get yourself a nice clean side. I just pick up where you left off at, left to right, move down, left to right, doing this will ensure that you're getting all blinds all at the same time without feeling too overwhelmed by thinking you have to get every single blind singly. Of course, again, give a nice little swipe, make sure there's nothing left over. Switch it to the other side. Same process. As you can tell, this was my dirty side. Flipped over to my clean side. Left to right, move down. And most likely that should be a pretty effective way to get most of the dust off, or if not most, then all of it. Now, once again, once you get all your blinds, like I said, you'd be surprised how much dust buildup can be removed to the other side, or whatever dust that you dusted off will have most likely fallen onto the windowsills. So once again, thorough swipe, left, move down, left to right. Give a nice little swipe as well. Make sure there's no dust buildup. Don't see anything on your hands. Then you most likely got the very good portion of dusting your blinds. And of course, make sure you remember how the pattern was, how the blind pattern was, how they left it as. We'll leave it as that as well.